is like Switzerland here in the Heber Valley. Vestiges of it everywhere you look. On this episode of The Traveling Golfer, not only will we tell you about the 5 wonderful golf courses in the area, but you'll learn about the many activities that make this paradise for recreation and vacation.
This lager comes from a place that's been brewing beer for longer than anyone else in America, where men and women have crafted amber gold in the caves below since before refrigeration. It comes from Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, and brings with it all the know-how that doing the thing well for nearly 200 years affords. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Respect. It's earned.
It's one thing to look at a picture postcard, it's another thing to be in it. Snake Creek Canyon, leading to Heber Valley in all its magnificence. To find out more, let's talk to the people who put out the welcome mat. We're in front of the Heber Valley Visitors Center with the main man, Ryan Starks. The welcome mat is out in Heber Valley.
We like to think that this is Utah's hidden gem. Not a lot of people have known about it in the past, but once they come, they never want to leave.
A lot of people come to the Salt Lake City area through the international airport. It's not far from here.
Just 45-minute drive with only one stoplight in between.
Where Swiss meets West.
That's right, this is kind of the first stop in adventure. Obviously for golf, but if you're a fisher or if you like to hike or to bike, we have 3 state parks. If you're into Western or if you're into riding horses, we have a great horse riding scene. We're just minutes away from the #1 rated ski resort in North America, Deer Valley Ski Resort. And it's the only place that we know of where you can snow ski in one day and you can scuba dive in the same day as well.
That should mean skiing and golf sometimes on the same day.
So whenever you can golf, you can water ski. There are days where you can actually golf and ski on the same day.
Swiss is the architecture theme of the area. That doesn't really spill over to the food scene.
Not at all. In fact, our food scene goes the whole spectrum, from quality steaks to some of the best burgers in town. So really we have 30 non-chain restaurants that match all sorts of budgets and taste styles, and so we have something for everybody.
One of the real features of Tarahumara restaurant is the 30-item salsa bar. Authentic Mexican salsa, all different flavors and all different temperatures, including tiene calor, tiene mucho calor, y ay, 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 ay. So Ryan, appreciate the information, but I've spent enough time at the Visitors Center. I got to get out into the paradise that's the Heber Valley. We're with Chris Newson, head golf professional, Soldier Hollow, 36 holes in the Heber Valley. Mm-hmm. And you've been here from the very beginning, haven't you, Chris?
I have, yeah, since before we opened.
Yeah. And of course, that means you are part of the process of finding somebody to build this great facility out here.
It was.
Gene Bates, architect, based in Florida, but has done a lot of work in Utah.
Being that it's a state park, we had to solicit bids and go through the whole bid process. And so Gene submitted a bid because he had some credentials to his work. Obviously his work with couples and Johnny Miller, he came as pretty high profile. So we were pleased he submitted a bid.
All of this took place 2004 after the previous tenant finished with the property. That happened to be the Winter Olympics.
Winter Olympic Games in 2002, that's right, yeah. Right across the way here is the cross-country venue and the biathlon venue.
And there's still some vestiges of that.
Oh, absolutely. As you can see down below down there, we've got the flags, we've got the dart spire in the ground over there. You can see the layout over there, so it still has that feel.
Well, speaking of winter, they do a little bit of winter activity right on the golf course here, right, using the driving range.
Gene Bates was mandated to use part of the land as a multi-use facility. So he came up with the idea of turning the driving range into a tubing hill.
Gene's best part of the entire job that he did here was handling the pretty extreme elevation changes on the front nine of the golf course, and he did a super job of ribboning the fairways through so that you're not playing side hill lies all the time, extreme downhill, uphill lies.
The best description I've heard of the golf course is a mountain links. You get flat lies pretty much wherever you hit it.
At 6,000 feet elevation, it seems like you can hit the ball for miles. And that big mountain out there is 12,000 feet. The native grasses that frame the holes sometimes can really be frustrating. In this case, they're thin enough that you can find the ball and you can play it out of there.
The first year or two, we let that stuff go, and it would get waist high or higher, and it was just an automatic lost ball. And so now we've found that we can cut it back, still enjoy the brown separation between the green fairways, so you get that linksy, fescue-y feel, but you can find your ball. You can get a club on it, you can get it out of there, and it's helped pace of play, it's helped golfers' enjoyment, so that's been a change we've made.
And then, of course, the silver course is a lot flatter. So for those who don't want the challenge or don't have the imagination to play some of the slopes on the upper course, it's a great layout and it's really a lot of fun to play too.
The holes you got to go play on that front nine up there, they're visually intimidating, or they can be. The silver doesn't have any of that. The holes just sit in front of you. You can play them without a lot of stress. Yeah.
And final thing, 5 sets of tees. Pick your poison. You can go all the way back to 7,700 yards if you're bold enough, or any of the other tees, and that's an important thing.
Yeah, there's not too many golf courses like this where you can stand in one place and see an entire breathtaking scope of a valley, but then play another golf course and get a stunning look at a mountain in the back of you, Mount Timpanogos. There's not a bad view anywhere, and it's two different views completely.
Incredibly powerful, the Exotics EX9 Long 3 fairway wood features a deeper face for even greater spring-like effect. Combining a 185cc club head with a 43.5-inch shaft, the Long 3 delivers driver-like distance. The Long 3 features a Beta titanium cup face combo brazed to a hypersteel body, producing the longest hitting fairway wood in golf. The EX9 Long 3's redesigned slipstream sole features shorter waves from front to back, dramatically reducing the amount of turf interaction, resulting in a full-speed explosive impact, penetrating ball flight. To experience the longest fairway wood in golf, visit touredge.com to find a dealer near you.
This beautiful scene is one of many here at the Homestead. But in this particular case, it's a prelude of what lies behind it. When you see it, you won't believe it. We're inside the Homestead Crater with Craig Simons. He's the operator. And people come here not only to see the crater, but to go in it.
Exactly. The crater is 65 feet deep. The water's 96 degrees. We're open every day of the year, but folks are able to come in and soak and swim and also scuba dive. People go down with an instructor. We do teach classes here as well, but most of the local dive shops throughout Utah and the outlying states will come here for students to do their open water checkout dives.
So they'll go down. What do they see when they get down there?
Well, there's unique formations underwater. Also, people can come and enjoy a unique activity called paddleboard yoga. Like yoga's not hard enough already on flatland, they get on top of a paddleboard and do those yoga poses. So it's a unique activity, kind of away from the elements and the weather in nice warm water.
Not a bad activity after a day of golf. A nice warm soak in Homestead Crater. This golf course used to be called the Homestead. New owners changed the name to Crater Springs, and for good reason. So many holes, water comes into play. Tyler St. Jor, assistant golf professional here at Crater Springs, and also a native of Heber, right here in the Heber Valley. Tell me a little bit about the history of Crater Springs. I know it's a new name, as we said, but Homestead, the hotel.
The Homestead's been here for a long time, over 100 years now. Not the golf course, but the actual homestead itself. Kind of formed all around the hot springs, the crater that we have here. And 26 years ago is when the golf course was built. I believe it's the only one in Utah that is attached directly with a resort.
It certainly is an interesting golf course, two totally different nines.
Yeah, definitely. The front nine is a little more open. It's a little bit longer. We have 3 par 5s on the front nine. We have quite a bit of elevation change going both back up and downhill. The mountain plays much bigger of a part in the front nine. You know, if you get above the hole on the front, you're not only putting downhill on the green, but you're putting down the mountain.
Well, speaking of these greens, they roll great. Beautiful bent grass greens. They really roll out. Not super large, but there's definitely some contours and some different shapes to the greens.
They roll really nice. They're not overly fast, but they're quick, and they do have some undulation and some changes in them from front to back, but nothing crazy. The greens there's still a price to be put on making shots and being in the right place, but it's definitely a little more open where the back is a lot tighter. We only have 1 par 5 on the back nine. Most of the holes, water comes into play at some point on the back nine, but where the back is a lot tighter.
The Wasatch Mountains frame just about every shot on this golf course. The views are almost distracting. And is there anything more beautiful than hitting a majestic drive up against the backdrop of those mountains? The ball seems to hang there forever.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful valley. The mountains, I think, really add to the whole thing. It's a pretty unique view that we have here.
Golf at the base of the Wasatch Mountains. We're with Jonathan Wagstaff, owner-operator of Adventure House, right here at the Zirmat Hotel, a 52-week-a-year outdoor outfitter. That keeps you pretty busy.
It certainly does. It certainly does. As you know, we've got the off-road vehicles that we do in the summertime, do ski and snowboarding in the wintertime. Yeah, I'm a busy guy.
We got a close-up look at these mean monsters.
Yeah.
Took them for a little ride. The four-wheel drive vehicle is very popular with people coming here because it's a little safer too.
They're street legal vehicles, so they can drive right from the hotel and from the property. You're minutes away to the off-road trails. For families, they're all 4-seaters, so put the kids in the back. Mom and dad can drive easily, not easy to tip over. So they're a lot of fun.
And they're good on-road and off-road, so you can get right into these mountains.
They certainly are. Yeah, we've got a 2-hour signature loop, easy to access terrain.
And Adventure House has so much more in there too. Just about any outdoor activity can be furnished from right there.
For sure. We call ourselves an outdoor concierge. So any service that you're looking for to book or activities that you're looking for, we can help you do that. We supply all the clothing and anything that you would need for your outdoor adventure.
The allure of these vehicles, not only do you see all of this beauty, you can get right in the middle of it. Wasatch Golf Course, 36 holes of very busy golf. Bruce Strom is the director of golf, and he and his staff have his hands full here pretty much.
We, with the 36 holes, it's one of the most popular tracks in Utah.
The lake course, the older one of the two.
1967, the first 18 was built, and then in 1997, the final 9 up on the upper mountain course was added.
So it's not a rough guess. The lake course, much flatter. The mountain course, huge elevation change. And it runs a long way out from the clubhouse, a very linear golf course. You were lucky you had a lot of land here.
The state of Utah purchased the property back in 1959, 1960 for the state park.
The lakes course obviously has a lot of beauty to it with the water, the streams, the ponds, all of that. But I'm going to say that's the gentler course.
It is the more gentle course, but it's rated and it plays a little bit more tough than the mountain course.
It is tighter, and there are some holes where you really have to hit a straight tee ball.
There aren't any houses around this golf course, but there are a lot of trees. Now, that being said, we've trimmed the trees up, and so if you do push one to the right or pull it left, you can still get your ball. It makes us help play, move along. And the lakes actually, Tony, on those par threes that we have, if you're hitting from the back tees, it's a pretty long carry over the ponds. The par fives, you got to be a big long hitter to get them in two. So mountain course is a par 71. Because of the elevation changes, a couple of those par fives are downhill and definitely reachable in two.
On this par three, plenty of room to miss it left. We are out west, the wide open spaces. Many other mountain courses, they don't clear enough of a corridor for the holes. That's not the case here. Wide corridors, large cleared areas around the greens. You can spray the ball a bit.
High handicappers, you can go for the greens. There's not a whole lot of trouble around the greens. There's some collection areas.
Now, putting here at Wasatch, I found to be a challenge. The greens are very big, and even though they're not that undulated, because of the mountains, there's a lot of factors involved with every putt.
Everything breaks to the valley. If you don't see it, you can maybe guess it's going to break to the valley.
Yeah. I thought that the putting was even a little more difficult on the mountain course because as you get up there, there's really some elevation changes, so you have to watch there with some big breaks. One other thing that I thought made it a little bit more player friendly on the mountain courses might be the least amount of bunkers I've ever seen on a golf course.
By design, because it's not difficult. Yet it's still fun, it's beautiful, drop dead gorgeous mountains, trees, wildlife.
This has to be named Wild Turkey Golf Course. I have never seen.
As I'm looking over your shoulder at a dozen of them. The golf course is on Wasatch State Park, which is 23,000 acres. The state does allow hunting not in or around the golf course. And a lot of times I think some of these animals, including the turkeys, realize that, and that's why they're all here. Because once the season opens, they seem to all migrate down to the golf course where it's safe.
So all aboard the Heber Valley Express with the traveling golfer in Utah. The railroad opened the west. To remind us how that happened, Mark Nelson, Executive Director, Heber Valley Railroad. Take us on a trip, Mark.
All right.
How's it work?
Great to be here with you. Well, the Heber Valley Railroad, the tracks were first laid by the Denver Rio Grande Western Railway in 1899.
I'm going to imagine that people who come to this area, tourist visitors, flock to the trains for a little ride.
They do. We carry almost 100,000 people a year, and we operate year-round, and people come from all over the world and love to ride these old trains.
When they take the ride, what are they going to see?
We have some really beautiful scenery, and along the way, oftentimes we'll see deer and elk, eagles, coyotes, other things like that. We have a great 3-hour round trip that goes to the end of our line, and then we have a shorter 90-minute round trip that's maybe better for the kids sometimes who have the shorter attention span. And oftentimes the train gets robbed. We even have gunfights here at the depot once a week or so, and boy, people really enjoy the Old West and those guns.
We are with Peter Rancy. He is one of the partners of Lodging Hospitality Services, the company that runs the Zirmat Hotel, a little bit of Switzerland in the American West. This particular property is such a stark eye-opener when you come around the corner and see reeks of Switzerland at every turn, from the music to the restaurants to the rooms to the surrounding mountains.
Well, more than $120 million was invested in trying to take a slice of Switzerland and bring it here. We've got a world-class spa, and we've got an indoor-outdoor swimming pool. You can start inside and swim out underneath to the outside, or you can relax under the 2-story waterfall and turn on the jets. And of course the pool's heated all year round, so you can relax any time of year.
You take a lot of care in paying attention to the dining, including the new Wildfire Smokehouse, more of a casual restaurant.
It is, and that's part of where the Swiss meets West. We've got a Western flavor in there, and we've got a more European flavor in the steakhouse. Zermatt is the largest complex of its kind in Utah and in the Intermountain West. We have 330 guest rooms available, but we can also accommodate families in 1, 2, and 3 bedroom villas. We have 65,000 feet of meeting rooms, conference and exhibition space, so we can accommodate any size party.
And for the less adventurous, you even have a working merry-go-round?
We have the merry-go-round, and it's available for kids of all ages at all times of night and day.
Come!
So what's so great about Utah? Just take a look. We've got great golf, great accommodations, great activities, and great scenery. So take it from the traveling golfer. Come and visit the Wasatch Mountains and Heber Valley. You'll have the trip of a lifetime.
Tony Leodora's golf wardrobe, courtesy of Antigua, the leader in modern golf apparel. Tour Edge is the official equipment sponsor of the Traveling Golfer.